from Simple Gifts Farmstead, and we are just back from our most recent Farmstead field trip. And if you're enjoying the videos that we do for the Farmstead field trips, consider giving us a thumbs up, a like, and maybe subscribe to our Simple Gifts Farmstead channel. So this most recent trip was for my husband Michael's and my 36th anniversary on Valentine's Day, and we went to Ohio Amish country. And we ended up at the cutest general store, which is the oldest operating general store in Ohio, and it's called End of the Commons General Store. And the owners there were just wonderful, so much hospitality. Peter and his dad Ken gave us a tour of the store, and you're going to see that tour in this video, so I hope you enjoy.
The name End of the Commons General Store came from the park here. You see the green grassy area. That was back in the days. All the houses around the park actually had fences around them, so your animals grazed in the center grassy area. So that was called the common ground. So for short, they called it the Commons. Well, we sit here at the end, so that's how we became End of the Commons General Store. We used to actually come out. We lived in Garfield Heights before he bought the store, so we used to always come out here on the weekends and visit, buy penny candy, picnic in the park. So this was always a place where we would come. We're now seeing kids that are adults bringing their little kids back and getting penny candy. So that's what we have here, 28 different kinds of penny candy. You know, you can have a child come with a quarter and spend 15 minutes picking out 25 different kinds of candy.
We had a barber shop in the place here, but you know, the barber was also a dentist way back when. So his name was Mr. Chafee. So when people come in here, they meet Mr. Chafee, and we tell them the story about the barber and the dentist.
We have over 200 different kinds of glass soda pop in 12-ounce bottles. We have our own root beer that's made for us. It's a creamy, old-fashioned root beer, so that's one of our most popular items right there. But you can see 11 doors of coolers.
So I'm not sure whether the swamp juice, the worm ooze, or maybe the bug barf would be a good option.
So this is the original post office that was here in the general store back in the early 1800s. It now currently is still here, but around the corner in the same building, just more updated now. Many of the floors in this area are the original general store when it was built in 1840, so you still got creaks, and every once in a while we have to go down with a hammer and pound the nails back in, make sure people aren't tripping on them, but we're trying to keep as much of the original as possible. The bean cabinets here, when you came to the old general stores, you would pick out what you wanted in the glass there, and they would go from behind with a scoop and a paper bag and scoop your beans or what have you out that you wanted.
So my wife said, why don't we go and take all those items that we found in the basement and in the attic and start hanging them up around. So maybe when people look at the ceiling, they'll see all those items. So that's what began with hanging up everything around here. And we do not sell anything that's up there either. We just display it.
The previous owner, that was his car garage back here. So the floor actually dropped down to a concrete. We have built the floor up, but that's where he parked his DeSoto. So we've now just changed this over to housewares. We've done the old corn brooms. We have pickle pickers, the wool dusters. So this is more like a houseware section for us now. We have a lot of candles and soaps in the back. Just a lot of home items. We had so many antiques. Again, we thought it was junk, but antiques that were, each generation would come in and remember their grandmother or their parents using those items. So we just started displaying those so people could just really enjoy those at the same time they were shopping. For our local Amish, we still have, the straw hats. This is the men's style, the pinch style. And then of course you have the child's, the straw hat or the black ones. So the black ones, mainly are on weekends, like church days.
Have here a bell at your service, harmonica, and a jaw harp. My grandparents used to have one of these. Do you see those banana seat bikes up at the top? They very much remind me of the banana seat bike that my cousin Lisa and I used to ride together on the same bike to the Cherry Run General Store. Okay, this is interesting here. You could have your own personalized cookies, and there's just about everything here to choose from a cowboy to cowboy boots to cactuses, buffaloes, and even a mustache.
So when my parents first got into the store, we were in a co-op with our church. So the co-op would bring food to my parents' house. Well, they would divide it amongst the church people. Well, then my mom was getting tired of trucks coming to the house, and she said to my dad, well, why don't we just, whatever's left over, why don't we take it to the store and we'll divvy it up, because a lot of the Amish had big families. So he would bring it here, we would repackage it, label it. To be honest with you, I think he thought it was a bad idea at the beginning, so he didn't like the idea at all.
No, I did not like it.
So, of course,
it worked out.
Of course, my mom won. So, what we call bulk foods today, that's how it got here. So, anything you see with our label on it, we buy it anywhere from 25 to 100 pound packages, and then we repackage it, label it, and we still cater a lot of that to the Amish with the 10-pound bags of flour, to oatmeal, to sugar. We have a lot of jarred goods, pickled eggs. Of course, people like that. Pizza sauces, pasta sauces, all sorts of pickled items. Of course, we have a local Amish family, Hostetler Jams. They're 2 miles from here. They produce all of our jams for us. So we test taste those. That obviously helps sell the product, but it also lets people know what they like and don't like, so that they don't get home and find something they don't like. I was telling you about, like for instance, powdered sugar in 5-pound bags. So we package that up. That comes in a 50-pound bag. We have a big metal scoop that we scoop it up. But again, you could see a lot of these antiques up here. For instance, this used to be a big clover farm store back in the 40s. Well, when my dad took over in '82, there was still Clover Farm on the shelf for sale. Well, we had customers bringing back product with worms in it and bugs. When he started researching his groceries that he had on his shelf, he found out that Clover Farm had been out of business for 40 years, and he was still selling these mixes. So this actually is full of flour still.
Wow.
You know, the cake mix. So.
Obviously, they weren't doing much business.
We're selling a lot of that.
No, they were mostly selling ice cream, cigarettes, pop, some milk and that. In the back room, my wife and I came across this, and probably we found 40 or 50 of these, and a matching another bowl.
The creamer.
And this was a sugar bowl, and the other one was a creamer. And as we researched it, we found out, why was there so many in there? They gave these away as a promotion. Let's say you buy a pound of coffee today, you get the sugar bowl. Next month you buy some flour or something and you get the creamer.
Nice.
And so we found a lot of these.
So that's what they refer to as depression glass.
Depression glass, that's good. Yeah.
General store here has been around since 1840, never closed ever. So it's what we consider the oldest true operating general store, still in Ohio. Could be even further than that, but we feel like Ohio is safe to say that. So my family, of course, my dad, started in 1982. So between our family and the Munsons, we've had it almost 100 years between the two families. So that's pretty amazing that in this day and age, a small little store in the middle of nowhere can survive up against the big box stores, the little stores, the other stores that are popping up around every 5 miles. But I think it's the uniqueness and the charm, and
Yes.
a lot of for a lot of people, it's walking down memory lane for them.
Yes.
Every generation.
I chuckle when we have a group of school children come in here.
Yes.
And in the other room there, we have something that's called a typewriter. And they look up there, we ask them, what is that? They don't know what a typewriter is. And I really feel old.
Yes.
they don't know what the typewriter is. So they're looking at something like that, and it's interesting to communicate with them.
So that one over there is he and I in that photo. Of course, I'm only 11 years old in that one.
Yeah.
I think you were like early 40s maybe.
So is this the history center of all of the town?
It is. It is. So we actually, my wife did this whole section just, recently, because we opened this section up as well as the sweet shop just 2 weeks ago. So we've never really had a place to really focus on the history of the store. So yeah, like this is our town circle. That old map is from 1871. It shows all the different houses there. Of course, I live in one of those houses. You would come in here, get your teeth pulled by the same guy that was cutting your hair. So you had better mention to him what you wanted done before you got in that chair. You would come here and get your mail. You'd come here and get your flour, your sugar. You would come here and get you could order a casket. They made caskets in the basement. So, of course, back then, a casket or coffin, however you want to say it, they were just a pine box. They were not anything special like we do nowadays.
Remember Peter said something about my wife went out with the bulk goods? Well, she didn't think we should put ice cream cones in here. She says, you got a lot of good stuff in there. They're going to get all goopy with their hands and that from the ice cream. I said, well, sorry, we're going to put ice cream in. So I won that one.
So the ice cream you're looking at is a hard hand-dipped ice cream. We stuck with the hard hand-dipped ice cream because, everybody...
Because it's superior.
It's superior. Of course, it is more of a nostalgic type ice cream versus a soft serve. You could go to McDonald's, you can go to anywhere and get the soft serve, but really you don't find the hard hand-dipped anymore except in the little mom and pop places. So, we'll have people in the summertime that'll pick butter pecan or cherry vanilla, or of course they used to call it White House, right? White House? Mm-hmm. White House ice cream or black cherry. Mm-hmm. And they'll sit on the front porch and just watch the buggies go by or people watch so they can enjoy some ice cream.
Yes.
we started out in the old section that we first went into with a little, maybe like a 6-foot case. And then over the years, we just kept adding a bigger case, and then finally we're now 20 foot of cheeses and meats. So all of our cheeses come from Amish country. All of our meats come from all over, but all our cheeses are Amish country. Of course, over here, which we never thought we would be, but we're well known now for our fry pies. So on any given day, they're making 900, like this morning they made 900 fry pies. So if you would have come this morning, this whole display was completely empty. So we have a crew of 3 that come in at 5 o'clock in the morning, and they put out a fry pie. So I'm actually going to show you what it looks like because the picture doesn't do it justice. So you probably remember the hostess pies, the half moon pies. Well, these are 100 times better, and they're homemade. So, hi. That's kind of what they look like right there.
Raspberry cheesecake.
It just oozes with flavor right there. So what we do is we have a machine. We roll it out in big sheets. We cut circles, and then we have a little dough machine that we put the circle on. We fill it with the filling, and then we twist it. It crimps it and puts it out in half moon shape, and then we fry it. And then we dunk it in a bath of glaze. We're here standing in front of Clarksville Sweets, which is a new sweet shop for us. We make over 40 different chocolates here, over 27 different gourmet popcorns, things like banana, blue raspberry, garlic parmesan. We have viewing windows so you could see us making chocolate. Now today we're running strawberries, but normally we're running conveyors that make caramels and pecan turtles and cream filled. This is our cooling table, so we pour our caramel all over this. We block it off with around the whole thing when we pour our caramel, then we let it set up overnight. So that's how we get the caramel to stay on there.
Have had a wonderful time discovering the end of the commons. I want to thank Peter and thank Ken so much for showing us around, for telling us everything that you have today, that sharing the history, sharing the nostalgia, sharing the wonderful feeling that I'm sure that everyone gets when they come here. So if you haven't been to Mesopotamia before, you need to come to Mesopotamia. And if you have been to the end of the commons before, you need to come back because you need to discover all that is the sweet shop.
Thank you for coming.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.